11 News starts with breaking news.
Yes, breaking at noon, a judge rules in favor of several local counties who sued the governor and health secretary over COVID-19 restrictions. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Peggy Finnegan.
And I'm Gordon Lesh. Butler, Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties were plaintiffs in the lawsuit. They filed a federal lawsuit against Governor Wolf and Health Secretary Dr. Rachel Levine, claiming the state overstepped its bounds when it put restrictions on gatherings and ordered non-life-sustaining businesses to close in the spring. In a ruling in favor of the counties, the U.S. District Judge said Wolf and Levine had good intentions, but their actions crossed a legal line and were considered unconstitutional. We're going through the nearly 70-page ruling right now and working to find out what this means for gatherings going forward. For Channel 11 News at 5.
Meanwhile, also breaking at noon, Allegheny County has just released its latest update on COVID-19 cases.
In the last 48 hours, there have been 142 new cases. The numbers are a little different today because the county normally releases cases from the past 24 hours and not 48 hours. The new cases come from 1,400 tests taken between September 6th and yesterday. There were no new deaths reported.
Severe Weather Team 11 meteorologist Scott Harbaugh joins us now.
And Scott, parts of the area will not even get out of the 60s today.
No, we're 67 in Pittsburgh right now. You can feel the difference in the air. The dew point has dropped off even more. Since you were with us this morning on Channel 11 Morning News, down to 50, that means the air very light, very dry. Visible satellite clouds continue to head out. We'll push them off to the south this afternoon, barely back into the 70s in much of the area. Some parts of our area we'll see a little frost tonight. I'll show you where that's going to happen as I put together some new numbers. That's coming up in about 15 minutes.
Thanks, Scott. Neighbors in the Munhall and Homestead areas are speaking out about acts of vandalism.
They tell Channel 11 multiple windows are being damaged and they want police to catch the culprits. Channel 11's Liz Kilmer reports.
Neighbors tell me they thought their homes were being shot up as someone was throwing rocks, including this one here, right through their windows.
Boom! Because all you heard was, pow! And my curtain went like this, and I'm like...
Vicki Hawkins says this rock just missed her head as it flew through the window into her living room on East 18th Avenue. It was around 9 last night around the back of the property, located right by the border of Homestead and Munhall. And neighbors report she wasn't the only one hit. Around the same time, a vandal or vandals smashed this window on nearby Maple Street.
I was really scared, shooken, because I didn't know what was really going on. And then we didn't want to come right on outside to see what's going on because we heard when the glass shattered.
And it wasn't just last night. We spoke with a man who says that a brick was tossed through his window on Thursday. You're going to hear his story in a report I'm working on for 5. Back to you.
We're awaiting more information from the Munhall Police Department. Decision 2020 coverage and the start of Pennsylvania's election is on hold. Counties were expected to start sending out absentee ballots today, but they can't because the official ballot has not been approved by the state. One reason is because Democrats have sued to keep the Green Party candidate off the ballot. Also, some Republicans are trying to block the state from using ballot drop boxes. And the Trump campaign is suing Pennsylvania over a law allowing widespread mail-in voting. Ballots can't be mailed until those issues are resolved. A county elections director near Philadelphia told CNN she expects ballots will be ready to send to voters at the end of September or the beginning of October.
President Donald Trump held a large indoor rally in Nevada last night, that despite the state's ban on meetings over 50 people. NBC's Tracy Potts showed us what happened inside that rally, plus the latest fallout from the new book that shows the president knew a lot more about coronavirus than he told the public.
President Trump before a large indoor crowd in Nevada last night with little social distancing and few masks, calling on Joe Biden to take a drug test before their first debate this month.
Because we don't want to have a situation like we could have with this guy.
The president did not talk about his 18 interviews for Bob Woodward's new book, Rage. Live on the Today Show this morning, Woodward explained the timeline of when he learned the president knew more than he was telling the public.
In May, 3 months later, I learned the key piece of evidence that on January 28th, 10 days before that February call, the president was warned by his national security advisor in a top secret meeting that the virus is going to be the greatest national security threat to your presidency.
He is more concerned with protecting himself than protecting the American people.
The head of the Republican Party defending their nominee.
What would it mean if the president came out and said the sky is falling and everybody should be panicked? He presented calm and a steady hand and a plan, and that is what a president should do.
Drug companies and medical experts say while we may know next month if a vaccine works, it'll be early to mid next year before it's widely available. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
Mr. Biden, what's your message to Delaware voters ahead of the primary tomorrow?
Vote, vote, vote.
Former Vice President Joe Biden and his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, cast their ballots today in Delaware's primary. The primary is actually tomorrow, but the Bidens made an appointment to beat the crowds. The presidential hopeful is scheduled to deliver a speech today on climate change and those wildfires raging out west. Today, President Donald Trump will visit California, where several of the wildfires are burning. The White House says the president will join local and federal fire and emergency officials for a briefing. He's expected to visit McClellan Park in Sacramento County, a community that in recent weeks has served as a base for firefighter operations. The president approved a major disaster declaration for California just last week. At least 100 separate fires are burning right now, and at least 35 people have died. The smoke from those fires is so bad it's actually affecting people in Canada. A thick haze blanketed parts of British Columbia over the weekend. Haze obscured the Vancouver skyline at times, posing high health risks.
Patience, please. That's the message West Mifflin School District officials have for parents and students as they work to fix their laptops. Channel 11's Mike Holden explains what's going on.
Students started returning their laptops to the West Mifflin Area School District after a string of issues during their first week of online learning. District officials have told Channel 11 directly they're now working to fix the issues and make sure the necessary safeguards are in place so there can be a successful year of learning. Urgent security updates. That's why West Mifflin Area School District officials recalled all devices issued to their students for online learning. Channel 11 watched from a distance as parents dropped off their laptops today for the necessary upgrades. Parents said their children could not get into Zoom and virtual classrooms. Some told Channel 11 the computer screen would just turn white, preventing them from getting access to online assignments. Others reported inappropriate images would pop up. Parents tell Channel 11 this has been a big, stressful adjustment.
I mean, logging on's been a little bit rough at the beginning, but they got that taken care of, other than taking the computers back to do a software update.
And the district thanked parents for their patience and said the problems were caused by, quote, our internet software filtering vendor changed their cloud infrastructure without advance warning. We uncovered a few internal issues that will need to be rectified as well. And for a full list of laptop return times and dates, just head over to WPXI.com and the WPXI News app. Now, we can tell you West Mifflin is not the only school that has been having issues with remote learning. We're diving deeper into that side of the story for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting in West Mifflin, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
The Armstrong County coroner is asking for information about a body that was found in the Allegheny River. A man was pulled from the river not far from the Allegheny Mariner restaurant in Katanning yesterday afternoon. If you have any information about the case, they're asking that you call the Armstrong County coroner's office.
The Steelers kick off their season tonight against the New York Giants. This year, teams have to worry about stopping more than opponents on the field, though. They also have to defend against coronavirus. This is a look inside the Cleveland Browns locker room. There's floor-to-ceiling plexiglass set up. Lockers are 6 feet apart, and in the weight room, ultraviolet lights further sanitize the equipment. And every helmet is fitted with new plastic shields that act just like a cloth face mask. Testing is also a big part of the NFL's COVID-19 plan. Every player, staff member, and coach is tested daily. Over the last 5 weeks, the league says they've done more than 250,000 tests. In just the last hour, we learned the Steelers will honor Antoine Rose Jr. this season by wearing his name on their helmets. Rose who was black, was unarmed and running from police during a traffic stop in 2018 when he was shot and killed by an East Pittsburgh police officer. Antoine's mother told the team if she could collaborate with them and save one life, then she is grateful.
Could Big Ten football change course? Conference officials met yesterday about possibly allowing sports to be played, and we could see an announcement on that this week. The conference postponed the fall sports season last month to slow the spread of COVID-19. The decision didn't sit well with a lot of families, though. Jennifer Simmons is the parent of Penn State defensive end Shane Simmons, and she says this is really a critical year for her son.
It was his chance to show that he is NFL worthy and get his spot for his lifelong dream to play in the NFL. And everything literally is riding on this season for him.
If conference officials decide to go ahead with football, it could start as early as October 17th. A man who escaped from police while they were taking him to jail is now back behind bars. Michael Boring was wanted on parole violation and arrest warrants when he escaped August 29th. During his getaway, police say Boring stole a black Ford F-250 dual-wheeled pickup truck from a nearby farm. State police say he's now in the Cambria County Jail.
We can't take no water. We can't take no water, so y'all better be safe.
The Gulf Coast bracing for another major storm in less than a month. Why residents' thoughts are on another major storm.
Plus, protests over the weekend because of a police-involved shooting in Pennsylvania. After the break, the new video police say people need to see.
Plus, I'm tracking some fall chill in the air, and which neighborhoods could have a little frost tomorrow morning.
Channel 11 News investigates and digs deeper.
They're not getting the care that they deserve. I can't do what I was trained to do.
And now we're seeing action.
The FBI today searched Brighton Rehab. It's about time.
Count on Channel 11 News.
On Channel 11 Morning News, we tell you what's new, what's happening now, and what's next.
News stories with new details.
Breaking stories, updated all morning. And developing stories to prepare you for what's next on Channel 11 Morning News.
Watch David Johnson and Peggy Finnegan on Channel 11 News at 5.
New body camera footage shows the moments right before a man was shot by police in Lancaster County, PA. Police released the video showing the man coming at an officer with a knife. Overnight, protests turned violent. According to the NBC station in Harrisburg, people smashed the windows of police cruisers. They also shattered the front door of the police department. State police and officers with neighboring departments were called in to help. More than 100 people, some of them carrying signs, surrounded police cars after the shooting Sunday afternoon. Police were called to a domestic disturbance around 4 in the afternoon. Officers say protesters turned violent once the sun went down.
We need the community to come together, and we want the community to stay calm, stay at peace, and allow this process to play out.
The body camera video has been turned over to the DA's office. The officer, meanwhile, was placed on administrative leave.
Last week, state police opened their training academy doors in Hershey to demonstrate use of force training. The academy began this training in 2016. Cadets are taught to consider several factors, including if a suspect is threatening the lives of others and ways to de-escalate the situation. This all happens in just a few seconds. The rules are set by the U.S. Supreme Court, and close to 200 cadets go through the training each year.
We are beginning an important mission as a station. It's called WPXI Pittsburgh Gets Real.
It's an effort to bridge the divide between all races, genders, religions, and creeds. Anchor David Johnson explains how our diversity project hopes to give a voice to all voices.
Pittsburgh, it's time to get real. Sparked by the Black Lives Matter movement, Channel 11 is committed to being a leader for change. We know it's important to have uncomfortable conversations, and it's time not only to listen, but to learn. And that's why we're launching a new initiative, Pittsburgh Gets Real, bringing together people from across the community, from all different backgrounds and perspectives, making sure everyone has a voice. And we're already tackling tough topics, from voting rights to education gaps, even housing disparities in our community. Plus, we're highlighting the people who are making a difference as agents of change. And that's not all. We're making sure you have the resources to celebrate women, minority, LGBTQ-owned businesses and their achievements. And we also want to have fun. With 90 neighborhoods in Pittsburgh alone and dozens more throughout the area, we know people are proud to be from southwestern Pennsylvania. And we want to see you rep your culture, whether it's food or art. Share your story and your heritage with us. Because the more real we get, the better off our community will be.
WPXI Pittsburgh Gets Real launches today with an important look at social justice and what it means to people in the greater Pittsburgh area.
Here at home, a group walked in the in the Hill District last night, and they were calling for an end to gun violence. The Walk for Peace went down Center Avenue before stopping at Freedom Corner. Many in that crowd lost loved ones to gun violence. They carried signs with their pictures on them. Organizers tell us the ones left behind never stop feeling the pain. Tina Ford lost her son, Armani, in a shooting in 2019.
We need more unity. We need to humble ourselves and become aware of whenever it doesn't affect more so the person who's, who pulls the trigger, but it affects the whole family of the victim.
About 50 people came out for that peace walk.
A bill is headed to the Pennsylvania House that would give student victims of sexual abuse the choice to expel their abuser. The author of the bill says he was inspired to write it after learning of an abuse victim who was forced to see her abuser at school every day. The bill passed the state Senate unanimously.
With millions of children learning now from home, experts say it is open season for online predators. Bark Technologies is a parental control monitoring app. They've seen a 23% increase in online predator alerts since just March. Alerts were triggered by conversations that might otherwise go unnoticed. Predators can mislead kids and build their trust by lying about their age. And this is a good reminder to maybe take a few minutes today and talk with your kids about online dangers.
People in New Orleans are preparing for a possible hurricane as Tropical Storm Sally gains strength in the Gulf of Mexico. Winds were strong over the weekend, even though the slow-moving storm is still far away. People are filling sandbags to protect homes from flooding. Many say Hurricane Katrina, which devastated the area 15 years ago, is still fresh in their minds.
Quite naturally, we get nervous. We had Katrina, and, you know, every time a storm comes, it's always nerve-wracking a little bit.
Forecasters say Sally could come ashore in Louisiana early tomorrow.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
And just in the last couple of minutes, Sally has been upgraded to a hurricane, Category 1 hurricane with winds at 85 miles per hour. As Gordon mentioned, should make landfall Louisiana sometime tomorrow morning or early tomorrow afternoon with winds about 90 miles per hour. Even by Thursday afternoon, it's still all the way down into Alabama with winds only to 30 miles per hour. And most of the rain from this system will stay south of our area. This is currently one of 5 tropical systems in the Atlantic basin. Paulette, Renee, Teddy, and Vicky was just named a tropical storm just at about 11 o'clock this morning. So 5 tropical systems, none of which look like they'll have a direct impact on us, at least not right now. 67 degrees in Pittsburgh, a fall-like afternoon, 70 in Beaver. Matter of fact, Beaver, the only town so far in the 70s. Plenty of sunshine next couple of days. We'll get about 9.5 hours worth of sunshine in today, even more tomorrow and Wednesday. So great weather during the afternoon. Keep in mind, we still have a UV index to worry about. It's a 6 today. That means if you're outside for any length of time, sunburn can begin in about 25 minutes. So even though we're heading into the middle of September, fall begins next week, you still need the sunscreen on these bright sunny days. Visible satellite, the clouds just continue to push to the south. Good looking day today, 13 dry daylight hours today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Thursday, cold front's going to come through. Some of the remnants of Sally are going to try to skirt into the area. I still think we have about 10 dry hours. Some areas might even do better than that. This afternoon, all sunshine. Temperatures in the 70s, low humidity, nice north wind, feeling really good outside this afternoon. Tonight, it's going to be chilly, down to 47 in Pittsburgh, 40 in Butler, 44 in Greensburg. Matter of fact, some areas could make their way into the 30s tonight. Some of those colder valleys to the north of Pittsburgh, so some patchy frost is possible in some of those river valley areas, basically from Butler, Newcastle, Kittanning, Indiana, on north. No frost advisories right now, but keep in mind if you live in Clarion County, Venango County, Forest County, in one of those deeper sheltered valleys, maybe protect the plants tonight just in case. Tomorrow, gorgeous sunshine, 74, low humidity, feeling good tomorrow. We're in pretty good shape right through the end of the week. Weekend always in view. How about this weekend? 65 on Saturday, 69 on Sunday. In the meantime, we'll warm up a bit Wednesday and then a chance of some showers Thursday, but most of the day will be dry.
Cautiously optimistic, local restaurants are preparing to welcome more customers next week, but they still have lingering questions about new guidelines.
And why a major pipeline that will run under most of Pennsylvania is now being told it has to move. In Severe Weather Center 11, we cover weather everywhere you live.
And we have the experience to get it right. We know the weather patterns across our neighborhoods and understand the unique influences on your area.
It's why there can be heavy downpours in northern Allegheny County.
While it's dry in Greensburg and rain is moving into Irwin.
Our priority is to prepare you for the weather in your neighborhood.
Count on Severe Weather Team 11 on Channel 11 News.
Tracking storms where you live.
What's new?
What's now and what's next every morning
on Channel 11 Morning News.
Back to school coverage now. Students are back in the classroom at Baldwin-Whitehall school buildings. Today, the district starts hybrid learning. Last week, all students began online learning. District leaders said it was to get them comfortable. Today, half of the students will be in school while the other half stay at home.
There are water concerns in the South Butler County School District, and that is because there are elevated levels of Legionella and lead found in school buildings. 5 water fountains had elevated levels of lead. None of them have been used because of coronavirus restrictions. And out of an abundance of caution, the South Butler School District decided to test for Legionella too, and it was found in the water at the primary school, the intermediate school, and at Knock High School. The district will have water coolers set up so that students can fill up water bottles. The school also shut off the hot water. Thanks, but no thanks. Why Ohio could be having a tough time finding a new health director.
And confusion over evictions, why national protection still might not be enough to keep everyone in their homes.
When news is happening near you, Channel 11 is there.
Aliquippa, Coriopolis, Moon. We cover news everywhere you live.
That's what makes Channel 11 News different.
We're in McCandless, Cranberry, Butler. For news from where you live,
watch Channel 11 News at 5.
You're streaming WPXI now. Channel 11 expands its streaming live newscasts. When other stations are national, Channel 11 News is local, right here at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on WPXI Now. Make sure you know everything happening in the morning. Watch Channel 11 Morning News.
Are you guys confused too?
I mean, I think everybody's kind of confused.
The federal government announced a moratorium on evictions nationwide, but there's still confusion over whether and how it applies here in Pennsylvania. Channel 11's consumer investigator Angie Moreski has been looking into what is happening.
And she learned the agency that manages the state's rental relief program is bracing for a possible surge in eviction notices.
Pennsylvania's eviction moratorium ended on August 31st, but the CDC announced it would extend a nationwide eviction ban through the end of the year. Good news to renters, but Governor Wolf says it doesn't go far enough.
Here's the problem. It doesn't protect all renters.
The federal moratorium requires renters to make under $99,000 a year, have a loss of wages due to the pandemic, and exhaust all other resources for assistance. So the governor is calling on the state legislature to extend the state's own eviction moratorium and amend the state's rental and mortgage relief program to help more people.
There is absolutely no way that any Pennsylvania under any circumstance should struggle for housing.
With the state's moratorium in limbo as the legislature considers it, many are bracing to see if landlords move to evict tenants in the coming weeks.
Are you expecting a surge of eviction notices to go out to people with this confusion over whether the moratorium is in existence or not?
Yeah, we are planning that, September and into October could be pretty crazy months.
The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency manages the state's rent assistance program and says the need is great, but it's been a challenge. They received 26,500 applications from renters asking for more than $70 million, but only a fraction of that, about 2,600, have been approved so far for about $4 million.
We can't make assistance available without the landlord being involved.
The problem, many are not willing to participate because of a limit on assistance.
It's capped at $750 per month per tenant for a maximum of 6 months. And in many places, Allegheny County being one, rent is $1,000, $1,500, $1,200, $1,500, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. So the landlords aren't willing to take only $750 from a tenant who may owe twice that.
And the current program prevents landlords from pursuing the balance from tenants, so the governor is calling for changes to increase the cap to a county's fair market rent value to encourage more landlords to apply.
Apply for the rental assistance program, please. We have funds available.
Angie Moreski, Channel 11 News.
The state has more than $145 million left in rental assistance. Right now, the deadline to apply is September 30th, but the governor is also asking the legislature to extend that to October 30th. If you need help, we do have a link for you on our app and on our website. Severe Weather Team 11 meteorologist Scott Harbaugh joins us once again.
And Scott, fall-like temperatures today.
Yeah, very cool today. As a matter of fact, compared to yesterday, not only are temperatures cooler, but the air is a lot drier with a little bit of a breeze. You can see the breeze on our tower cam. Live look, some of the trees moving right now. North wind at about 12, 13 miles per hour. Temperatures mainly in the 60s right now. Beaver right at 70 degrees. Butler 66 in some areas. Butler, Indiana north won't make it out of the 60s today. The dew point really low, right at 50 degrees. The air comfortable. When the dew point drops into the 40s, that means the air is very dry this time of the year, and that's certainly going to be the case this afternoon into this evening as the dew point continues to drop off. Great afternoon for grilling, but I think a jacket for the kids at the bus stop tomorrow morning. I'm tracking which neighborhoods drop into the 30s. I have updated numbers coming up in minutes.
6 months into the pandemic, Pennsylvania is getting ready to ease one restriction for bars and restaurants. 1 week from today, they'll be able to operate at 50% capacity. But while local businesses welcome the news, they still have questions. They're not sure what it means for bar seating. Right now, you're not allowed to order a drink at the bar. This is important because up to 40% of revenue comes from alcohol sales. Meanwhile, the president of the Pittsburgh chapter of the Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association says the increased seating capacity still will not help some urban restaurants because there's not enough space to social distance. 3 states have been taken off Pennsylvania's travel quarantine list: Hawaii, North Carolina, and Texas. Residents are still being asked to quarantine for 14 days after visiting any of the 17 other states on the list. That includes Florida, Illinois, South Carolina, and Tennessee.
Ohio is looking for a health director as it works to control the spread of COVID-19. Last week, Governor Mike DeWine nominated Dr. Joan Duvey to the post. She was picked to replace Dr. Amy Acton, who resigned in June. But just hours after being nominated, Duvey said she wasn't taking the job. And the reason is because she heard about the harassment that Dr. Acton received for trying to do her job. In declining the position, Dr. Duvey said, in part, "While I have dedicated my life to improving public health, my first commitment is to my family. She said, I am a public figure. My family is off limits." Less than 3 weeks ago, students at Temple University headed back to campus, moving in to prepare for the fall semester.
Now, thousands of students are beginning to move out. The Philadelphia school decided to go almost entirely virtual the fall semester due to the number of rising COVID-19 cases. About 95% of all classes will now be online this semester. The university also gave students an incentive to move out. Students who moved off campus by yesterday are receiving a full housing refund. According to Temple's COVID-19 tracker, 333 coronavirus cases were confirmed on campus in August. School officials say accommodations are being made to keep students who have chosen to stay on campus safe and healthy.
The Ohio State University has canceled spring break for this school year. It's meant to reduce travel-related exposure to the virus. Ohio State also plans to continue a mix of in-person and online classes to start the spring semester.
A big project gets underway today in Perry North to repair a landslide that's already damaged or destroyed homes. Part of Semi-Sur Street will close to traffic for about 6 months. It's all part of an $890,000 project. Crews will build a retaining wall and stabilize the ground. This area has been plagued by problems since 2018. One home collapsed and the city bought neighboring homes that were condemned.
Concerns are mounting about the possible consequences if there is an undercount in the 2020 census. That count is set to end September 30th, so organizations nationwide right now are working to boost response rates before it's too late. There are also legal battles underway over a series of last-minute changes to the census. That census determines the number of representatives each state gets in Congress, and it also determines funding for schools, health care, and infrastructure. The census only happens every 10 years, so if the count is wrong, the effects could last a decade or more.
Still to come on Channel 11 News at noon, how a state road project could help save lives nationwide.
Channel 11 Morning News brings you what's happening now.
Just downgraded to a Category 2 hurricane. Jennifer Tomazik has been sifting through all the video.
It really wreaked havoc.
What's new?
New focus on a missing persons case. Family certainly has gone a long time, several months without answers.
And what's next?
Today, the Pittsburgh Public School Board has 2 big decisions to make.
That meeting is set for 4 o'clock. We will keep a close eye on it.
This could bring some much-needed rain for us.
Count on Channel 11 News for live coverage every morning.
When you want news from where you live,
Watch Channel 11 News at 5.
Amazon plans to hire 100,000 people to keep up with the surge of online orders. The company said the new hires will help pack, ship, or sort orders. The jobs are not related to its typical holiday hiring. We're working to learn if any of those jobs will be in the Pittsburgh area.
A PennDOT program designed to protect crews in work zones was just named a finalist for a nationwide award. The Automated Work Zone Speed Enforcement Program uses cameras that are mounted to cars to catch speeders in construction areas. The program was launched in March. The program is a finalist for an America's Transportation Award. Online voting ends in October.
The state ordered Sunoco to reroute the construction of the Mariner East 2 pipeline after a major spill. The pipeline is 350 miles long, starting in Washington County and ending near Philadelphia. Last month, more than 8,000 gallons of drilling fluid spilled into Marsh Creek Lake near Philadelphia. The state DEP said the company hasn't turned over plans on how it will make up for the impacts of the spill. That cleanup is still underway, and Sunoco has proposed changing the pipeline route so it would cross under the Pennsylvania Turnpike instead.
The pandemic is creating some good deals on used cars, but there is a catch. Why experts say you need to act quickly.
Fall chill in the air will mean a cold night for some. I'm tracking where you could wake up to a little frost tomorrow morning.
You're streaming WPXI now. Your source for breaking news, weather, and original local shows. Amazing people are having a big impact all over rural America. Small town, big deal. Weekdays at 2 p.m. on WPXI Now. Channel 11 Morning News brings you what's happening now.
Happy first day of school to thousands of students.
What's new and what's next.
That meeting is set for 4 o'clock. We will keep a close eye on it.
This could bring some much-needed rain for us.
Count on Channel 11 News every morning. Watch David Johnson and Peggy Finnegan on Channel 11 News at 5.
If you're in the market for a vehicle, you might want to check out the used car market. Experts say the coronavirus pandemic has led to some great deals in the pre-owned market.
But NBC's Susan McGinnis tells us why the deals may not last long.
If you're in the market for a car, you may want to check the stickers on used or pre-owned vehicles.
Used cars definitely show a lot of value.
Experts say the coronavirus pandemic hit the auto industry hard. As factories shut down, new car inventories dried up.
These are dire straits. I mean, people are really looking at, what's out there in the market. And for the dealers, They're going to auctions to buy used cars.
The economic downturn sending cash-strapped buyers to more affordable used cars, dealers seeing used vehicles that sat idle before the pandemic quickly driving off their lots. More buyers are also kicking the tires virtually. Research shows 60% of car buyers doing their research and buying cars online. Ernie Garcia is CEO of Carvana, which sells only used cars and exclusively online.
Because we sell cars online, we're able to sell them at lower prices.
Garcia says he's noticed the pandemic bringing in buyers nervous about taking trains, buses, and subways.
There are people that just used public transport before, and now they're kind of shifting to owning their own car.
The trend also means the car you have sitting in your driveway could put extra cash in your wallet. Truck owners are said to be in an especially good position to cash in, with top values going to the Toyota Tacoma, the Ford F-350, and the Jeep Wrangler. But there's a speed bump. Experts say stronger demand for used cars and new car production ramping back up means today's deals may not last long. Susan McGinnis, NBC News, Washington.
Although some experts say the deals could continue as rental car companies suffering a drop in travelers send their fleets to dealers.
A new survey finds working from home while kids are learning from home is not working well for a lot of people. More than 40% of parents say that they either cut their hours or stopped work completely so they can help their children. That's according to a survey conducted by homeschoolexpert.com. Of that group, nearly a third say they've cut their work hours by half or more, while 16% have stopped working altogether.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
It definitely has a feel of early autumn in the air when you step outside. Live look at Tower Cam. A lot of sunshine right now. That sun's going to continue to build throughout the afternoon. Temperature 67. The dew point's the key. It's 50. The dew point's the measure of the moisture in the air. The higher the number it is and the closer it is to the temperature, the more humid the air feels. Well, when it's only down near 50 degrees, the air feels pretty dry, and it's going to continue to drop the rest of the afternoon. Visible satellite did have some clouds this morning. Most of those are scouring out to the south. Got a couple clouds trying to work in up near the I-80 corridor. So you folks along I-80, partly sunny skies. Most of the rest of the area, a good amount of sunshine this afternoon. 5 o'clock this afternoon, 74 degrees. Great day to get any yard work done that maybe you didn't do over the weekend or rain interfered with yesterday. Quick drop in temperatures this evening, 8 o'clock, already down to 63 degrees. Our high temperatures today, 74 in Pittsburgh, 72 Washington, Indiana, Butler, Uniontown, Somerset not even making it back to 70 degrees today. Tonight clear, cool, down to 47 in the city of Pittsburgh. Some of the outlying areas will make it into the 30s, and those outlying areas will be basically the colder valleys of northern Butler County, northern Armstrong County, and up along the I-80 corridor. Butler down to 40 tonight, 47 in Pittsburgh, 44 in Greensburg. Because there will be a couple of spots that do fall into the upper 30s tonight, there could be some patchy frost in the deeper valleys north of Pittsburgh. I mean the really deep valleys, the one where the wind kind of decouples and buckles off and you don't get a breath of wind past midnight tonight. So maybe bring some stuff in tonight if you live up near Clarion, Franklin, up into Forest County. Everywhere else should be in pretty good shape tonight. Hurricane Sally now turning with winds at about 90 miles per hour. This has just been upgraded. It's going to continue to move to the north. Category 2 hurricane when it makes landfall with winds at about 100 miles per hour. And this is actually one of 5 tropical systems that are out there, none of which will have a direct impact on our weather. We could catch a little rain from Sally on Thursday, but most of it looks to stay south of the area. A little bit of a warm up by Wednesday, mostly sunny, 81 degrees, couple afternoon showers on Thursday. We'll make it to 75, then much cooler heading into the weekend. 63 on Friday, 65 Saturday, and then Sunday, 69 degrees. Notice those overnight lows, especially Saturday night into Sunday, down to about 41 degrees in Pittsburgh. That means much of the area will be in the 30s first thing Sunday morning, so potentially some scattered frost by the time we get to Sunday morning. Temperatures next week warm back into the 70s. Gordon?
I'll take it. Boy, fall is here, right? Oracle and TikTok will partner for U.S. operations, according to a source familiar with that matter. Now, it's not exactly a sale, but it is meant to satisfy requirements from the Trump administration. The president issued an executive order last month requiring TikTok to split from its Chinese parent company. Microsoft was also interested in buying the popular social media company, but its offer was rejected.
A company is working to get more kids connected. Wi-Fi Ranger provides internet access to underserved communities during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it does it by attaching routers to the tops of buses and then parks the buses in neighborhoods, creating mobile hotspots. So when a bus pulls up, local kids can download and upload homework or other assignments. Summer is ending and the birds are on the move when you could see 50,000 of them fly over the Pittsburgh skies.
Now, here's your local steals and deals.
Hey, so I am in the kitchen, which I have to say, don't be shocked. Up until a few months ago, I wasn't even sure what this room was, but this is a kitchen, and this is where good food happens. And I have had the chance to really experiment and find out that, you know what, even if I don't know what I'm doing, I can end up with some great food. And if I have the right tools, it's super easy. So I've been hearing everybody, by the way, talk about air frying, and I thought, okay, air frying, that sounds complicated, and I can't do that, and blah, blah, blah. And then somebody sent me this caloric, and I thought, okay, you know, number one, this looks really cool, right? I like it. It doesn't take up all my counter space. Love that. I started experimenting with it, and here's the cool thing. So, number one, I love fried food. Who loves fried food? Raise your hand. I love fried food, but I know it's not very healthy for me, right? Because it just absorbs oil. Now I can air fry tater tots, French fries, chicken wings, all the things I love. I can air fry it if it's frozen. I can air fry it if it's fresh. It's going to have a nice big basket, so there's lots of room. I can do a lot at one time, but I don't just have to air fry it. This is like an extra oven in my kitchen. I can do a steak in here. I can do vegetables in here. I can do a cake in here. Oh, I can reheat food in here, which, you know, is a really big deal for me because I'm cooking for one. I can reheat food in here and I don't have to wait on a big oven, and it tastes a lot better than a microwave. I love the fact that whatever comes out of this, i.e. this basket, goes in my dishwasher because I'm not big on cleaning. So this is one of those things that makes air frying really, really easy. And it's not going to take up all the room in your kitchen. And I love the fact that it's not going to break the bank. Now, the caloric is already a great value. On localsteals.com right now, you can get this for 30% off. I guarantee it's going to change the way you cook. I guarantee if I can do it, you can do it. Your food's going to be healthier. You're going to cook things you never thought of. It's an extra oven, and it's going to be the most used appliance in your kitchen.
Channel 11 News investigates and digs deeper.
They're not getting the care that they deserve.
I can't do what I was trained to do.
And now we're seeing action.
The FBI today searched Brighton Rehab.
It's about time.
The day after our report, 61-year-old Peter contacted me. He sees the same care issues at Mount Lebanon Rehab.
What is your reaction to federal officials now being on the property there?
I'm relieved somebody's actually paying attention.
Count on Channel 11 News.
What's new?
What's now and what's next every morning
on Channel 11 Morning News.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tried his hand at comedy to call attention to a new bill. He and Jerry Seinfeld appeared at a New York City comedy club for a Save Our Stages Act. The bill would provide economic grants to comedy clubs, theaters, and live music venues around the nation to keep them afloat during this pandemic. Live entertainment is such a big part of what makes New York City, and Seinfeld says it will come back.
New York City is not going away as the place that people want to live, they want to work, it's exciting. There's no place in the world that has our energy and our personality.
But without help, live venues in New York will lose $9 billion in ticket sales alone. Well, you can now walk or run from where you are to support the fight against breast cancer. It is the 2020 Susan G. Komen Pittsburgh Race for the Cure virtual this year. The event runs through September 26th, and you're asked to participate remotely by walking or running in your neighborhood or on a treadmill. You have to log 6,000 steps to earn a finisher badge.
I'll take a look up in the sky today as the birds head south for the winter. A massive amount of birds are expected to fly across the state today. According to Birdcast, more than 50,000 birds per square mile will migrate south above Pittsburgh today. Birdcast looks at weather radar to determine the birds' flight direction, speed, and altitude. According to the Audubon Society, most of the birds will be migrating sometime tonight.
I'll keep my eyes peeled. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast comes up tonight at 5 o'clock.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day. On Channel 11 Morning News, we bring you what's new, what's happening now, and what's next.
That means our newsroom is always searching for new details and new stories.
It also means breaking. If it's happening now, I'm on it, bringing you live updates from the breaking